If they have a good performance on land, then I may start to change my tune.
And I guess the other thing, right, is the order lineup that played and lost to the Drop Bears, they literally just swapped their lineup.
This is true as well.
So if they were to play today, what would the result be? Who knows?
Who knows? Well, what we do know is that the result against Blank Esports really rests here on Horizon Lunar Colony.
It does. If you need to get something done, do it on the moon. That's what I say, Elfishguy. My moral in life, which is why I never get anything done.
It does not really seem to make much sense, to be honest.
All right. Blank, the pressure is on.
What? That is a fantastic lead.
Yep. And we talk about it time and time again. Running these Winstons on assault defense allows you to get quite a bit of free charge. You can see already Quats up to 66%. Morton only on 19.
Quats is really having a phenomenal series here. But
yeah.
Now he may be under a little bit of pressure. In fact, he finds Kura. Morton goes down as well.
Easy life, easy Winston life.
And he's already got the Primal Rage Bend.
Yep.
That first initial fight, the leap that he had, like it literally spread Blank so much that they were an easy picking.
On poor Noz. They're still, look at this. So much time wasted here.
But the thing is, right?
Yeah.
Now Quats has got that Primal Rage, so the next fight you can probably say is fairly safe for Order. We've got 2 minutes 35 left on the clock. Let's say the next fight happens in the next 30 seconds to 45 seconds. The minute and a half left by the time Blank get their final potential fight, or second last fight maybe. They've barely built anything up.
Yeah.
That is going to make a difference though.
Huge play.
Huge pin.
Yeah. That's that is absolutely massive and entirely not anticipated there by Quats or the rest of Order. Now Blank going to get free reign in onto Objective A. Already up to 2/3. Looking for more. The team now will contest. Earthshatter comes through, but Jordation is, of course, immune by that Transcendence. Yuki going to go down to Nox. Quats now back into things. Do you use the Primal Rage here? Well, apparently you do, but he can't even get onto the point here, Jordan.
Yeah, unfortunately this Primal Rage doesn't look like it's going to be having the impact. There was that one moment where all of Order was stuck in the corner. If he gets the Primal Rage off and locks them all in that corner, he may be able to do the damage that was required from Order, but just not quite enough. And Blank, they get a bit of a free one, to be honest. Yeah. With that pin from Morton onto Quats, being able to win that fight so cleanly.
And look at this now, potential for a big hole-in-one. Grab, self-destruct from Blank. They'll move immediately onto the objective Order. Now the team forced to contest this one, try and keep this from going across. There's the self-destruct. Sound barrier goes through. May not be enough though, Jordan. Quats goes down, maybe just a little bit too late as well for Blank to get a freebie. Transcendence now from Jordation onto the point. Modern's gone down as well. The longer this goes, the better it is for Order.
Yeah, certainly. Though one tick has already been secured by Blank, so you get that 33%. At the very least, means now that Blank have kind of established something on point B. They've got plenty of time to work with. And so far, I mean, really, the storyline has changed from Order potentially holding first completely, once again, to Blank now having a good chance of actually capturing point B. As has been generally the case on Horizon Lunar Colony, we tend to see quite a lot of time banks, multiple even, 2 or 3 times here on Horizon Lunar Colony. So it'd be surprising if Blank weren't actually able to cap point B.
Modern looking for a 360 no-scope Earthshatter up from the high ground.
Jeez. Too much Call of Duty.
Wouldn't that be the play? Would that not be the play? You just like spin around, hit your Q as soon as you hit the ground. You're going to find yourself onto the point almost, but you can see that the shield goes down, Jordan, so quickly. Not even able to actually get onto the point yet. Quat's going to go down to tongue. Yeah, as that Earthshatter was coming out as well. Modern's used his also self-destruct from Adam. Roro is down, all of Order now back up. Quat's back onto the point. Modern found out. Yes, Blank are here, but I don't know if they're going to be able to bring back anything else here, Jordan.
Not with the Transcendence available. Jordation actually is going to decide to hang on to it, which means Unta will go down. Certainly seems Order have enough faith that they're going to win this based on the respawns. And in fact, that seems like a good decision here from Jordation, though Roro giving some problems, but it's only Roro left on the point here. So really smart from Jordation to hold on to the grab, to the Transcendence there. You know, normally your first instinct is as soon as you hear the Graviton Surge voice line playing out there from Zayu, you hit that Q button. But he's able to just
Jordation ain't no bot, Jordan, even if he's playing an Omnic.
Well, I mean, jury's out on that, to be honest, but...
Wow. Don't think that's very nice.
No one ever said I was nice. Here comes Blank again for another contest.
Let's go. On to the point. Already used up a couple of minutes. Tongue and Jordation both sitting on Transcendence. Hunter with the beat to drop also. Noz with a self-destruct. But this fight is almost over before it begins. The self-destruct comes through. Do they have some way to deal with it? Well, the sound barrier is used and it will keep them all alive. Only just, but that's all they need. It's a one-for-one trade on those ultis. And Order will win the fight. 2:24 on the clock. Blank forced to fall back, Jordan.
Yeah, and they're going to get the stagger here as well. Adam back up with the mech available straight away, and they're getting another stagger straight away. Look at this aggression out from Order. It sort of cost them a little bit if you remember on Nepal, but in this case, they get the stagger onto Morton, buying themselves even more time. Now you look at this and there's probably 2 fights left for Blank. Maybe 3 if they have a really quick one here. And then they can get back as the overtime starts to tick on through. But that's not a lot of options left for Blank, considering so far, really Point B has been a stronghold for Order.
They've got the double support ultimate, but you assume you need to use one of those besides Graviton Surge.
Yeah.
So it leaves them with one, and, you know, I'm not sure if that's enough in this particular situation. They need to do damage. They need to be picking up Order quicker than they're doing right now. The respawns, of course, in Order's favour. Earthshatter comes through.
Decent shot.
Finds Morton. They'll take that tongue as well by the looks of things. The Transcendence is buffed by Blank. Jordation still sitting on his. Kura still sitting on the sound barrier. You can see that Noz has managed to stop that grab coming out. So that's definitely got to count for something. That's very important. Adam does the same. Wow, these grabs are going nowhere. Self-destruct as well. Comes through, finds Quats. Is this the opening that Blank needed?
Maybe it is. Quats is going to take a little bit of time to respawn. His shield was too low to defend against that self-destruct, and now it's just craziness from Blank Esports as they try to deal with the remaining Order players. Hunter almost has a sound barrier, needs to ensure he survives, but will not as he goes down.
Oh, he does manage to get onto the point, but only buys them a couple of seconds in the time bank. And after all of that, Blank capable of getting both points captured. Honestly, it felt like they were not going to get Objective A.
I have to agree. Felt like they weren't going to get Objective A. Did you mean to say B? But I think even in that case, it didn't feel like they were going to get A.
I didn't. Like, honestly,
well, I was
if that Primal Rage came off.
Exactly. But what I was going to say is, like, it didn't feel like they were going to get Objective A, but then when they did, it also didn't feel like they were going to get Objective B, which is where I was a little bit confused. So, for me, Blank actually being able to cap those out, maybe a little surprising. 47 seconds, it's not much.
It is not much.
To be fair, you normally see a lot more time in the bank there. 2 or 3 minutes is sort of standard fare.
Yeah.
So I guess it's good in the sense that Blank's able to cap out, but I'm still not sure that it's enough. Unless we see some sort of craziness on this defense from them on point A, which you do tend to see sometimes on Horizon Lunar Colony. Maybe not particularly always from Blank, but here's what we've got. At least for now, Nox and Roro are going to be playing DPS. Modern's on the Orisa. So it is a little bit of a curveball for Order to deal with.
Yeah.
But I think for Order, really, in a sense, it's a case of just building that EMP up, which they have ample time to do. And then once you have that EMP, it should be fairly straightforward to deplete the bunker, really, that Blank is going to set up. They're obviously going to have the Orisa shield. They're going to have the Widow and the Ashe hanging around there. Maybe there'll be a crossfire between the Widow and the Ashe, but as long as you dive in on top of the majority of that Blank roster and get a decent EMP off and a good follow-up, that would be obviously ideal. Now, I'm just going to rewind a little bit because I've obviously recognized now that Quats is the one.
I was going to say, this is not the Sombra that you're looking for.
No, definitely not. But whatever the case is, I mean, I'm expecting Order to just go back to Goats. If they swap back onto a bit more of a quad DPS or a Sombra Goats kind of composition, I think it doesn't necessarily change things up too much. Now the objective, of course, changed for Order, right? They need to be just smashing into whatever bunker setup is there for Blank. But they need to ignore what's on the other side of the field, right? Could be Roro, could be Nox. They're going outside. Ben's doing his thing again.
By the way, actually do hold my breath. So I'm not cheating, right? Anyway, onto the high ground, and this could be a very quick capture here for Order onto the point. If Jordation stays alive, the heals come back. Already 1/3 through. Got the some pretty good positioning as well, but Roro will find Anta. Blank need to follow it up with more. And Order going to get stopped by the looks of things in their tracks, just short of the second tick.
Oh, you say that. Yuki's actually doing a bit of work here. He's going to get Kura as well. Somehow he's still alive. I don't know how he survives for that long.
But Blank's not fighting on the point, Jordan.
Are they getting... Oh.
I don't even sometimes. Anyway, look, I get it, but I also don't get it.
I think Blank really should have probably held with only the one tick going over there. Regardless, I mean, still a hold. It's a hold. But the fact that Order's so easily able to get that much on the point off their initial push, and being able to so easily displace Blank from their positions initially with that Orisa, I think is a bad sign for Blank here.
And look at this, Blank now, sorry, Order now, should I say, freely able to run straight down the middle and straight onto the point. Now it's going to be very difficult. Blank have the ultimate advantage, but Noz's low D mech almost picked up as well. Roro low, see you later. Only need to find 1/3 as well, and that should very quickly go in Order's favor. They're going to push them to objective B here in just a second, Jordan. Blank won't have much to work with. They're going to have tons of Transcendence, I guess a self-destruct. Order on the flip side have 3 ultimates to push through.
I mean, this is looking dangerous for Blank, isn't it?
When you throw the grab, like, do you do an aggressive sort of spawn camping grab?
No, I think you just wait. See what happens with Noz,
as well. Oh, it's in there. The self-destruct's in there as well. The Transcendence comes out. The shield should save them from the self-destruct, and it will. Oh my goodness. Already up to 90%. Quats needs to stay alive, and he will. Earthshatter available. Throws it out. Finds Noz and Morton. The picks going across to Order here, who now have that sound barrier on the back of Anta. Oh my goodness, we're going to have about 5 minutes on the clock.
Definitely seems so. Quat's getting low, but he won't be finished off here. And Roro just going to dive on the point, try and buy as much time as possible. Obviously, it's not going to last. And that was really the only way that that story was going to be finished on Order's attack. Like, they run into point B with so many ultimates available. And then when you see Quats get that kind of value out of the Earthshatter, I mean, that's the fight over then and there. So you're going to get up to a minute there for Blank, of course, because they were down at 47 seconds, and they get the extra 13 seconds. So too does Order. I mean, but look at this. 4 minutes, 5 minutes even, actually. 5 minutes and 12 for Order, and a minute for Blank. You need to cap this, point A, and then you need to cap point B as well for Blank. Like, they're going to have to do point B in overtime, but that's literally the only win condition.
This is most definitely, Jordan, rock versus scissors right now. And Order is very much that rock. It's been quite impressive today, to be honest. I kind of maybe thought Order would come out on top, but not in the way that they have. It's been really quite dominating, hasn't it?
Yeah. My thing is, like, everyone seems to underrate Order during the season, and then when it comes to finals time, everyone wants to see someone beat Sydney Drop Bear, so everyone's like, yeah, Order's the best team now. It's kind of just like...
To be fair, Order was kind of like, Order's the best team
Okay,
now.
You always get that from every team.
Like, that was what my recollection of the general consensus.
I felt as though the general consensus last season was that I'd say at least 50% of the community kind of felt like Order could actually beat Sydney Drop Bears.
They did.
But then during the season, like, no one was saying really Order's the best team.
They also thought Heist could beat the Sydney Drop Bears.
Well...
Am I wrong?
All I'm saying is, like, guys, just watch the games before you make an opinion.
All right, look. Right now, if you're watching the game, you're going, I don't know who the top team in the region is right now.
I think that's fair. That's
Which is exciting for a change. In the past, it feels like it's been sort of a false, as you said, oh, anyone could beat anyone because it's land. That was not a bad boop, actually, coming out from Anta. Just going to disperse the crowd, but it's Quats who goes down first. And now they've opened themselves up to this Blank lineup, rolling onto Objective A and potentially making something of this.
Well, Nox putting a little bit of damage into the Diva there. Already straight onto the point here for Blank, but Order's going to take their time to recontest. Where's Quats?
They wait as long as possible. They're willing to push this one into overtime. They know they only need to win one fight. Morton does go down to sign that charge coming through as well. And this looking like it should be enough, Jordan, to stop Blank being capable getting Objective A. Now we're going to have 5 minutes and 12 seconds for Order to do a little bit better. Look, they almost got something there. It was kind of like...
Almost.
It's like you've gone, hey, Blank, we didn't buy any groceries this week. What's for dinner? And they look in the pantry, and there's not much there, but they come up with this great idea, and you see them cooking away like, oh, that smells really good, and then you get there and you eat it, and it tastes like rubbish.
It's burnt.
Yeah, I was so close to going, you know what, this actually could be a thing, and then it wasn't a thing. Just realized it was.
Yeah, look, if they had another fight available to them, they could have potentially made something happen. But that is the nature of not being able to finish off Horizon Lunar Colony with much time available. Really, 1 minute only gives you the one fight, so you kind of have to have perfect execution. And let's be honest, like, how often do you actually see the first fight on Horizon Lunar Colony be the one that actually gets the cap? It's very rarely.
You're not wrong, Jordan. You are not wrong. Though, can't help but feel that that is potentially possible here. For Order. They've got that momentum building.
I mean, this is... you're looking at this as Order being 3-0 up. Really. Roro has gone on to the Junkrat, so that's a change up on the defense here for Blank. No more Widow.
Why not? Just do it.
Well, it obviously didn't work very well.
They've got to somehow hold out 89.3% for 5 minutes and 12 seconds.
See what Quat sees
Seems
here.
Unlikely.
Actually hasn't spotted. He hasn't spotted the Junkrat yet, so he's going to go back onto the Reinhardt anyway.
You think he spotted the Junkrat now?
Now they know.
Yeah. All right. So no freebies here for Roro on the Junkrat. Often you will see some sneaky beaky little.
Man, being a Junkrat player must be so hard.
Just hold left click.
It's just left.
Throw shift. Right click. Left click. Right click. Shift. Hey, got Adam.
Does Adam reset here? What are they doing? Surely you don't want to wait the whole time for Adam to get the mech back. Suppose they're just going to try and delay as long as possible. Open these doors, maybe let Adam fire off a few shots.
There's no way I can hold my breath for as long as Adam needs to wait to get that mech back, Jordan. Well, it's not even going to matter. Roro.
Well, that's what happens when you don't have a diva, right? That is when the Junkrat really can sort of start to let loose.
You hate to see it. Unless, of course, you are a Blank Esports fan, in which case, well, that was the start that they needed.
Exactly. And if you're going to win this point, if you're going to hold point A, pretty much a full hold as Blank, that's how you need to start off.
Yep.
You need to get the Junkrat available with the Riptide. That will obviously then enable the rest of Blank to get their ultimates up for the next fight. And then you cycle through them like that. Moira's here for Jordation. Doesn't feel as though he can survive on the Zen.
Oh, Riptide looking for a big one. Actually won't find any picks here, Jordan. So that's less than ideal for Blank. It's going to be a little bit tougher maybe than they expected now to be able to hold this. They were probably relying on finding one or two there.
Well, Kuro with the preemptive ultimate. And Order's just chilling. They don't care. They can wait this out. They've got time.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the longer they stay in that enclosed angle, the more chance that we're going to see Roro just throw some bombs on top of them. Gives Nox time to build up the bomb.
There actually is quite a bit of AoE damage between the Ashe and the Junkrat, right? Morton going to go down to Adam, though, and now between that and Tung's Transcendence, which is popped as soon as Nox gets low. Bob comes through. Blank, though, finding some picks. Maybe it will be enough to keep them going. Actually, Nox finds 2 with Bob as well. So 2.5 minutes on the clock. This is it's becoming doable. To possible.
It's definitely become possible now, Ben. I said at the start of this, there's no way that Blank wins. You don't hold for 5 minutes and 12 seconds.
There's no way that Blank wins this.
Not against Order.
Not in any world.
Now there starts to feel like a chance. Another Riptire available for Roro. We'll see if he can delay even further.
Supercharger available as well. This one just wants to catch 1 or 2. He finds 4. Wow. That makes up for your last attempt, Roro. That makes up for it.
Certainly does. Okay.
It's like, oh, maybe it's easier to hit Riptire.
Now we've got a game on our hands. We've definitely got a game on our hands.
The one problem with that, though, Elfishguy, is that it didn't really allow anyone else on Blank to build up ultimate charge.
so it didn't allow Order to build up ultimate charge. And right now, it doesn't even seem like Blank necessarily need those ultimates to really deal with Order so much.
You'd love to see yourself with a Bob. Supercharger now going to be used. Save from last time. Nox getting a little bit of damage through, but still only at 54%. Someone else is going to need to bring something out here as Jordation comes through with Moira. The Coalescence keeping everyone strong. Yeah, Nox caught out. That's not what Blank wanted to see. Hunter, nice work. Sound barrier, keeps them going. Throws that one through as well. I don't
Roro got 2.
We only hit tongue perhaps, and somehow Roro manages to have himself a Riptire already. Transcendence comes through also here. Quat's doing quite a bit of work, but you can see that Order, it feels like maybe, are they just starting to go down? Morton trying his best there with Kura. Roro's found another. That's 2 for Roro. Blank doing quite a good job here on defense. They're throwing absolutely everything into this.
Well, it's reset time here for Order. This fight is not going to be winnable for them. The res comes across onto Morton as well. Kura doing a great job. He's had 2 reses in that last fight. That's really helped Blank to actually keep themselves alive. And now with 25 seconds left, it all just comes down to one more fight here from Order. But they have a lot available to them, or they will have a lot available to them, assuming that they can get to the point unscathed. This is going to be a big pile driver, or not.
Oh, yeah, or not. And Jordation, once again, the Coalescence somehow available very quickly.
Rally, grab.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot here for Order to work with. They just need to use it smart. Can they avoid Roro and this Riptide that's going to come through in overtime? He's into the back line. He's looking for the healers. Doesn't find anyone. How's that even possible? He's going to go down to Adam. Kura, to be fair, going to pick Roro up, but we'll see whether it's enough. We are in to overtime. Blank need to win this fight to keep this match alive.
Order's going to win this fight.
Yeah. Wow.
Signed,
so close.
Signed is literally just running around behind people, holding down that left click, doing so much damage. The minefield will go down. And that is heartbreaking for Blank, but it's Order with the series win.
Big congrats to Order, now 3-0, taking down Blank. Still 1 map remaining. That'll be Watch Point Gibraltar, but that was close. That was what I thought that all of our other maps were going to be.
Yeah, exactly. But unfortunately for Blank, like I kind of thought that they were winning that fight. They don't turn it around quite enough.
Yeah.
Well, it's just not quite their day. Well, you don't get that kind of same sense, right?
This is how it went, right? Blank were like, all right, there's not much in the pantry. I'm going to cook you something for dinner, right? They get all the ingredients. It's smelling good. And then it's burned and it's awful and you don't want to eat it. But it's okay because they're good guy Blank. They go to your local Macca's. They pick up food for everyone. They bring it home and you're like, you know what? You're the best. And then they just drop it all over the floor. And that's where we're at. Now the food's on the floor. And there's nothing to enjoy.
It's a bit dramatic, really. I think we certainly had something to enjoy.
Yeah, the smell was there. It was good. But in the end, we didn't get to savor it. Because I was hoping for at least, I was hoping this was going to potentially go to the tiebreaker today, Jordan. But now the meal's already over.
Yeah, Jordation in that last fight as well, playing DPS Moira, as you tend to see sometimes in your random pub games of Overwatch. But it worked out fine for Order.
Yeah.
And all in all, 3-0 today against Blank. I think obviously the ideal result is going to be a 4-0 for them.
Yeah.
Again, given how close all of these maps are, especially now that we know it's going to be that 3-way tie, 4-0 on the board here for Order is pretty necessary just to give them that little leg up.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it could still in theory be Sydney Drop Bears that go out and go in first place. Although they seem to have the most unlikely chance of doing that, given how the season has presented itself thus far.
Definitely going to be an interesting Week 7 ladder, Jordan. That is for sure. I have no idea how this is going to play out, to be perfectly honest. The only way that this could get any crazier is if the Melbourne Mavericks would defeat the Sydney Drop Bears in our other match today. That would just, like, I don't even. That would cause a ruckus.
To be honest, if Melbourne Mavericks actually beat Sydney Drop Bears, that would mean that Sydney Drop Bears would be 4th, 100% locked in, basically.
Yep.
And then it's Melbourne Mavericks would be the ones that are kind of tussling for that first place, right? It's still possible, in a sense, for Melbourne Mavericks to get to first. Unlikely, of course. They do have Order next week as well, mind you.
That's a good point, though, right? That Order playing Melbourne next week is we're, I guess, assuming that they come out with that victory. I guess we're assuming everyone wins the rest of their matches. But that's definitely the most difficult of the lot for these 4 teams, that Melbourne, I guess Melbourne versus Melbourne, whatever, matchup next week. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, whatever.
Anyway. All right. So we're playing for maps now. It'll certainly be a dominating victory if Order were able to make this 4-0.
Okay. Nox actually goes down to Unta. Good trade, though, from Roro. It's only going to be a matter of time. If you keep bouncing around in front of him, he's going to hit a headshot eventually.
Yeah.
Even I could do it. Except it's just going to take me a lot longer.
20 minutes later, still going strong. But for now, Blank actually not... this has been a bit of an interesting fight. Oh! Almost, Roro. Almost, buddy. But it's not going to go your way. Order quite aggressive in their push here on defense.
He even gets tongue there. What a madman.
This is a bit of an odd play, though, right? Because you know that even trading 1-for-1, playing in that position, Blank are just going to get players back faster.
It is and it isn't, right? Because they've held that payload for, what, 30 or 40 seconds? This part of the map is like, it's kind of free territory for the attackers anyway. Generally, once it gets sort of around that first corner, which it does pretty easily, you'll get almost all the way up the ramp before the real defense actually starts. So, like, yeah, okay, Order have given up a fight there, but I think that's actually worked out favorably for them, considering the time bank. And this is where you want to have the actual proper defense.
Morton going to go down there to Adam. Yeah, like, you're right, but you're not right, but you're probably right. Let's be real. We'll see if it plays out in Order's favor. Roro looking for a pick, almost. Blank certainly seem to have more ultimate charge than Order do, but the longer this goes, the more Order will catch up. That was going to be my next point. You'd think that Blank probably gets their charge just a little bit earlier. They're going to come out here and try and push behind that Dragon Strike. A Dragon Strike which, unfortunately for Blank, is not successful. Adam, this could be a big one. Finds Nox. See you later. Transcendence used as is Valkyrie there by Kura.
Well, back to equilibrium, 6v6 as Blank get their players back up. That, as you say, has allowed Order to build the ultimates, though, and Noz gets absolutely wrecked by Sign and Adam.
Yep, look at this. This Primal Rage as well, being essentially nullified by Sign, sitting at about 75% energy on the Zarya.
Take the high ground again.
Yeah. Back up we go. 120 on the clock.
Now's where it gets more difficult for Blank. Like, once Order have sort of established the ability to rotate through the ultimates, once they've got the, for example, in this case, the Graviton Surge and the Transcendence, it becomes more difficult for Blank to do much damage with those DPS characters. So they've swapped off onto Goats, but they've probably swapped off a little bit too late to get a big power play out at the very least. Got one more fight left.
Remain. Signed on the off angle with the grab and the right click, ready for damage. Look at this. They need to get out, and it's going to take them a while. Throws it through. A self-destruct has actually come out as well. But Quat! What on earth? Quats has actually had such a great day so far.
Yeah, Until will be disappointed by using that sound barrier there. The fight was well and truly over, and it could have been, I mean, just another nail in the coffin here against Blank in the next fight. Now, realistically speaking, it's probably unnecessary because we do still have the Transcendence. We've got the self-destruct. I mean, the Reinhardt Earthshatter is there for Order as well, and Quats has been very consistent throughout this series in hitting those. So they probably don't need it per se, but it was just an extra insurance that now Order do not have.
Earthshatter looking for picks. Well, Nox goes down anyway. Tongue's got that Transcendence, but that's all they've got. Forced to pop it, forced to try and put this one into the overtime, but it won't matter.
Will not matter indeed. This is going to be an utter demolition from Order once again. Just kind of proving themselves as...
demolition.
Unto demolition, yeah. Well, talk about that sound barrier a bit later.
Anyway. Serious potential here for a 4-0. And if we go back and we look at these matches, like, they have been particularly one-sided.
That's right.
More so than a lot of the other matches we've seen between less evenly matched teams.
Yeah, I would even say, like, Nepal was probably the closest on paper. You look at Horizon Lunar Colony, and sure, it goes to overtime, but it's the time bank with Order having a 4.5 minute advantage.
Little did we know that what we saw on Shrine was a glimpse into the next 60 minutes.
Yeah.
Anyway.
What does this do to the power rankings, everybody? That's my question.
Look how much rock there is here.
Yep.
Like,
okay.
But
I'm looking.
It's just rock. You don't realize how much rock this is.
That rocks.
It's so much rock. They must have carved it out. How do you even get grass to grow here? That's impressive.
Might have been a cave formation before.
I would think it'd be tough. It'd have to be pretty durable grass, right? It's a lot of salt water.
Okay.
Doesn't like that. I guess you see like grass around lighthouses and stuff.
Yep.
I don't know. I just can't help but feel like there's got to be a better place to build a rocket ship. This can't be convenient.
I'm not a rocket scientist. Better ask Uber. He's got a degree in that or something.
Oh. Calling
At least
Uber
he likes
shouts,
it, says he
tell us
does.
why. Yeah, I don't think it actually. I don't necessarily know.
Quite frankly, I still think he deserves to be at Chemist Warehouse, but
Chemist Warehouse. Let's not even go into that.
with the plastic bag muscle top.
Dude. Just imagine. Those were the days. Sure, he'd go back in an instant.
Yep.
Blank, on the other hand, they probably wish that they could go back to the start of today and have a do-over. This has not been what they'd hoped to see, and, well, I think I might just put my headset down. We're done.
Okay. I'm sure everyone would appreciate that.
See you guys later.
Here goes Order.
Look, it really has been quite impressive today from Order, to be fair. Everything else aside, this is, you know, we question the changes that they made earlier in the season.
Yep.
I guess we won't truly know how well those changes have worked out until they potentially go up against the Sydney Drop Bears again.
Yeah, I think it really, when we get to finals, that's when we can kind of really get a grasp on how strong all of these teams are. Blank, there's absolutely no chance they hold here. Look at Kura, so low. Nos is going to be demeched. And it's just a walk in the park, really, for Order at this point.
I feel like by now, Blank has had their hearts broken, their souls broken. Food's all on the floor. Someone's going to have to clean it up. Congratulations, Order. 4-0. The top of the table clash going in their favor. And now we're in a world of who knows what.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be very, very interesting to see what the standings look like at the end of this week.
Yes,
it's kind of thrown everything into disarray toward the top end of things. Melbourne Mavericks could even throw it into more disarray with a win next against Sydney Drop Bears.
Would that not be...
Would that not be a surprise? Yes, it definitely would be a surprise.
Yes, it would be a surprise.
But this, like we've been saying throughout the entire season, has been the most competitive season of Overwatch Contenders here in AU so far. Once again, it's kind of proving that toward the bottom end of things and towards the top end of things.
Yeah, overall, this has been a great season. Let's be real. And so often we're kind of forced to talk about second, third, fourth in the groups, right? Who's making playoffs, who's not making playoffs. And yes, that's a discussion that we will be having on Wednesday. Well, you won't, but I will. But it's great to have these four teams sitting very evenly matched. And now we've rock, paper, scissors through 3 of the 4. And not even just like Team A beat Team B, but only Justin, and Team B beat Team C, but only... Like, they've really been shellackings.
I mean, yeah, you're right. Like, Sydney Drop Bears kind of smashed Order. Order kind of smashed Blank. And Blank, I won't say they necessarily smashed Sydney Drop Bears, but it was a 3-1. It was a convincing victory for Blank. So it's not like any of these series have been particularly close. You know, we've definitely not seen anything like the overtimes or the tiebreakers or whatever. So, yeah, it's rock beats scissors, beats paper, etc., whatever. So, at the moment, kind of hard to say. Yeah. I'm still going to be leaning on Sydney Drop Bears. Obviously, they've got that past history. I'm still going Sydney Drop Bears Order Blank, 1, 2, 3. But, like, who knows until we get to finals.
Which one's what, by the way, in rock, paper, scissors? So, blank's obviously paper, because you can have a blank page.
Okay.
So, I guess that sets it for the rest, right? So, that makes the Drop Bears rock.
Yeah, that
and
makes
Order
sense.
Scissors.
Sure.
Done. Easy.
Yeah, and I was going to say because you can drop a rock on someone's head and that works out pretty well. So, that kind of goes in with the Sydney Drop Bears analogy there as well. Not sure how Order works with scissors, but...
I don't know. We'll work it out eventually. We'll get there. We've still got a couple of weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
Jordan, it's time for our Macca's play of the game. A McDonald's Australia play of the game, Order up against Blank Esports, and it's going to be Roro coming out with the Riptire.
Well, I mean, yeah, fair enough. I don't think you can complain about that one. 4 kills with the Riptire. Doesn't happen every day, and to be fair, you don't see the Junkrat all that often either.
Yeah.
Though, what I will say is I think Roro should not be getting any more Macca's Player of the Games. He has been getting so many. It's not fair on everyone else.
It's not fair. Too many cheeseburgers for Rory. Have to settle down, mate. Share them around. Share the love. But it was a big play, even though they don't come out with the victory. If they were to bring it back, that would have been the start of it based on the Junkrat plays, right? This was the progression that we were looking for, but alas, for Blank, it's not going to happen. But for Order, congratulations once again. A very convincing 4-0 here today. They're going to be feeling pretty good after this, I reckon. Yeah,
definitely. I think if we had to give an Elfishguy and Sandman Player of the Game, or I mean, in this case, it's just Elfishguy because I'm making it up. Probably giving it to Quartz today. Like, I think he had a pretty phenomenal series there for Order. In my mind, multiple really big shatters.
I agree.
Big clutch plays. So for me, yeah, give it to him. But like I said earlier, like this still sort of raises a lot of questions about how the rest of things are going to play out. So just now, I guess we have to look forward to Sydney Drop Bears and Melbourne Mavericks.
Well, that is coming up next. We'll be back right after the break with the Sydney Drop Bears up against the Melbourne Mavericks. Don't go anywhere.